I wanted to talk about environmental engineering today. Now, the environment we're in, a lot of people did an energy in our environments, and it's very true. So, for the past 12 years, every 3 months, I rearrange my furniture. Let me explain why I do that. It's because as a species, we're habitual to normality. When you walk through a doorway, you often notice this because it's kind of like a portal. It's called a framing effect. And that means when you walk through a doorway, you often forget what you were going outside of it to do. This is because you're leaving one environment. If I was walking out that door thinking I'm going to go do something, the moment I walk out, I might completely forget what I was going to be doing. And that's because that doorway acts kind of as a frame. By that, I mean millisecond to millisecond, there's three parts of the human brain. There's the reptilian part of the brain, also system. That's the part that is responsible for fight or flight, just basic psychology and neuroscience. Then there's the midbrain, which is the social center. And then there's the prefrontal cortex, which makes us logical and rational. Every millisecond of the day, the reptilian part of the brain, the limbic system, is activating itself basically to protect ourselves. So I think of a metaphor as, say you're an algae. You're in the same space you always are. You're emerging from the water, and this is common, believe it or not. You can go to a zoo, you can go anywhere. See, the alligator will stop for about 4 seconds, scan the environment, and say, okay, that tree was there yesterday, so that's the same. That rock was there yesterday, that's the same. And then it'll proceed forward. It takes about 4 seconds to do. Now, if you add something to the environment, a person or a second tree, it's going to freeze and assess the environment. This is because our brains are trying to protect us from danger and are trying to make sure that normalcy is achieved. In other words, you add a new tree or a person, that alligator is going to be thinking of its, and we're no different out of base or instinct. So back to the point, environmental engineering is the idea of, like I said, every 12 years, every 3 months, I rearrange my furniture. Why I do that is because it changes the energy in the room. It allows us to think a little bit more. It frees up the environment, it frees up the brain, and it allows us to experience new energy, a new sense of self. Just changing the environment, it's eventually going to adjust. So if you ever want to have more of a prominent thought experience, if you want to be creative, if you want to be, and this is especially useful for remote workers, believe it or not, number one, some of the most depressed people on the face of the earth because they're isolated in their homes. Do yourself a favor and adjust the environment. Move a couch, move the TV every 3 months, try to do this. And I guarantee you, your brain will love you for it. It's called environmental engineering. Just let me know, drop in the comments what you think. Every 3 months, move one piece of furniture from one end of the room to the other. If you have a TV, put it in a different position, and you will realize that the energy in the room shifts, your creativity shifts, your mind kind of opens itself up. Also, remember that when you walk through a door, you are essentially leaving a new environment, leaving an old environment, and entering a new environment. So that's a heavy duty comment with your thoughts, and let me know what you think.